Are you prepared for the unpredictable? In this crazy world, it's crucial to have a fail-safe, a go-to spot where you and your crew can hunker down when things go south. Welcome to the concept of a safe haven. This isn't just about having a roof over your head. It's about locking down a spot that's self-sufficient, in a killer location, and ready to cover all your basic needs, even when the whole world's in a mess. So in this video, we're gonna break down 10 key tips to help you find your ultimate safe haven. We're going deep, talking natural resources, zoning rules, checking out the local vibe and weather, and scoping the scene from your main spot. And remember, Survival 101, it's all about being ready. Let's dive into finding your safe haven. All right, let's kick things off. First up, the land you're eyeing needs to give you access to the good stuff, natural resources. So, what's the deal with natural resources? We're talking about the essentials: water, wood, and fertile soil. These are the bread and butter for any survivalist, keeping you hydrated, warm, sheltered, and well-fed when you're off the grid. But hold up, not all land is made the same. You gotta think about the size of the property. Is it big enough to cover all these must-haves and still give you room for the structures you're gonna throw up? And hey, don't forget to think about how close your safe haven is to the forest or a national reserve. These spots usually get some serious protection from the government. Heavy laws, keeping them safe from turning into busy commercial zones. Speaking of which, let's dive into zoning. Commercial zoning might bring more people, more noise, and, you guessed it, more potential threats. What you want is a place that's tucked away, off the main hustle and bustle, where you can live in peace. Prep for whatever's coming down the pipeline. Ultimately, the land you're eyeing should be the real deal when the grid takes a nosedive. So choose wisely, plan ahead, and do your homework. Your survival might just hang on it. Make sure the land is zoned right for building the necessary structures. Can't stress this enough. Whether it's a chill pad, a bunker, or your own little farm, these structures are the backbone of your safe haven. They're not just there for physical protection, they're what makes you self-sufficient. Your safe haven ain't just a place to survive, it's where you live and thrive. Now let's talk location and terrain. They're deal breakers. When you're picking out your safe spot, you gotta have a diverse terrain in the mix. A diverse terrain amps up the natural defenses of your safe haven. Plus, it opens up a buffet of options for hunting, foraging, and getting your farming game on. You want the whole package: some high ground for a killer view and smart defense moves, and some flat areas for throwing up structures and getting your cultivation game strong. Don't forget to check out the annual natural disaster lineup too. Does the place deal with regular floods, wildfires, or hurricanes? These events can seriously mess with your survival chances and how sustainable your safe haven is. Always consider how the environment will affect your survival chances. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty of location. Here's the lowdown. A solid move is to pick a spot within an 8-hour drive from your home. This way you can hit up your safe haven in a single day. No need for overnight pit stops. The longer you're on the road, the more risks you're taking. What if your ride craps out and you're stuck without a plan B? Plus, the more time you're out there, the more chances you run into all sorts of trouble on the road. So, the sooner you roll into your safe haven, the better. And it's not just about the distance, it's about the route too. Steer clear of major cities and interstates like it's the golden rule. Those places are bound to be a hot mess, crowded, crazy, and probably sketchy in a crisis. So aim to get to your safe haven using the back roads, keep your distance from the interstates and highways. Trust me, it's a game changer. Now let's talk about onto the climate. The weather plays a significant role in survival, no doubt. A humid or subtropical climate is generally more favorable than a cold one. Why, you ask? Because these climates bring a longer growing season for crops, plenty of rainfall to keep the water flowing, and winters that are way less harsh. Translation, you're not burning through energy to stay warm, and you've got more resources in the tank for all your other survival needs. Make sure you have access to food, medical facilities, and a favorable climate. The proximity to these amenities is crucial. Say your safe haven's out in a remote area. You gotta make sure you can hit up food spots and get to medical help in 30 minutes or less. Cause in an emergency, being stranded in the middle of nowhere, not the move. You wanna make sure you can snag supplies and medical care pronto when things get hairy. All right, last but not least, before you settle on a location, make sure you explore the area thoroughly. You're not just snagging a piece of land, you're getting in on a community and a whole way of life. To truly understand the dynamics of the area, immerse yourself in it. Start by eating at local diners. Strike up conversations with the locals. They're the best source of information about the area, its quirks, and its rhythms. If you can swing it, crash there for a weekend or even a week. Understand the neighborhood dynamics. Are your neighbors friendly? Are they going to be assets on your survival? Or are they going to be detractors? The more you know about the area, the better prepared you'll be when the shit hits the fan. So when's the call to bug out? Well, it's like a mixtape of intuition, prep, and really getting your surroundings. As a survivor, you gotta tune into all the vibes that might be cooking up a SHTF scenario. Think social unrest cranking up, nature throwing a tantrum, possible wars, or just personal safety threats. Knowing when to hit the road depends a lot on your knack for reading these signs. It's like having your finger on the pulse of what's going down. Now before we call it a wrap, big thanks for hanging with us through the whole video. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing and leaving a comment. It helps us keep the survival content coming your way. Appreciate you tuning in. Remember, the key to survival is preparedness. Stay safe and stay prepared.